Okay, y'all know I love to be transparent with y'all, and God always gives me the best revelations while I'm on the highway. So please bear with me, y'all. I promise I'm a safe driver. But listen to this. So my children's father, I distinctly remember when I first got with him, I had just left my ex-husband. I had one kid and we were raising my nephew. So at this time, I had two children, my nephew and my one child I had from my ex-husband. So I got pregnant by my new boyfriend. He moved in with me, only for me to find out a whole bunch of crazy things, like he already had somebody pregnant before he moved in with me. But anyways, I was trying to get this crazy man out of my house, but every time that I kicked him out, he would just like break things in my house and tell me what he was going to do to me. He would pull guns out on me. He basically scared the crap out of me to the point where I'm like, okay, you can stay, but just don't hit me again. And even though I was pregnant, he would hit me again. And I distinctly remember a time where I had just got home from work. Mind you, he's in my house all day, bringing girls in and out of my house. I don't know this is what's going on, but he's dropping me off at work and then using my house to do whatever he wants to do. And I come home one night because I was working at Great Clips. I was a manager, and I would be there until like 9:30 at night. And when I would come home, you know, he would run bath water for me. He would cook for me, like, getting a call, but he would cook for me. He would run bath water for me, like the whole housewife stuff. This was before he showed his full true colors to me. I was still freshly out of my marriage that I was with this guy since I was 19, and then when I turned 25, I decided to divorce him because of infidelity and abuse, right? So I'm dating another abusive guy while I'm going through a divorce. I know, y'all, my testimony is real and I'm not scared to speak about it. I'm pregnant by this guy, and I have a toddler, and I have my nephew that I'm raising, and he's abusing me. And anyways, I distinctly remember coming home one night, and a girl comes and knocks on my door, and she's like, and she named him. She was like, is he here? And I was like, excuse me, who are you? Well, he just tried to sell me some weed, and it's just a handful of grass. And I was like, wait, hold on, pause. First of all, I didn't know he sold weed. Second of all, I didn't know he was a jack boy. You selling grass? Third of all, how does this heifer know where my house is? If anybody knows anything about street dudes, you don't eat where you stay. You don't tell people where you live, especially if you a jack boy, especially if your girlfriend is pregnant. Anything could have happened. But anyways, this girl, she was like a short, dark-skinned girl with a real big butt, his type. She came with this muscular, light-skinned chick, like looked like she was ready to fight everybody. That was her girlfriend. And then her girlfriend steps up and says, and he been effing my beef, so I got beef with him. I was like, hold on, pause. So you mean to tell me that he's sleeping with you and he just sold you some grass? I'm saying all this while he's standing behind me, but they don't know he's behind me. He's lipping behind me saying, no, say I'm not here. I wanted to just open the door and be like, he's right here, but this man is abusive, and the way he was looking at me, I knew he was going to beat the crap out of me if I said he was there. So I said he wasn't there, and I closed the door. When I closed the door, I started going off on him, but I knew they hadn't left yet, so I wasn't going off loud. This man slapped me, and he said, open the door back up and tell them bees to leave. I'm like, first of all, you're the one sleeping with this chick. Second of all, you're the one trying to sell weed that's actually grass to her. So you handle this, because I'm legit. I'm a manager at a chain salon. I bring in hundreds of dollars worth of tips every single day, and I bring in a weekly check. I don't need you. So like, I'm talking to him like this, and he's getting madder. So to avoid getting the crap beat out of me while I was pregnant, I opened the door and told them that they had to leave. They said, we about to go outside and bust the windows to both of his cars. Pause. This man used to drop me off in my mom's car. My mom was letting me borrow her car because my car was kind of iffy. Sometimes the heat worked, sometimes it didn't. And since I was pregnant and I had two kids, she was like, Rosemary, you can take my car because I already bought another car. So I had two cars, but one of them was my mama's. My mama said I could have it, but anyways, long story short, my mama wound up taking that car back from me when she found out he was driving it. But anyways, so they said they was gonna go bust the windows out of both of my cars. And I was like, neither one of those cars are his. Both of those cars are mine. I said, how do you even know what my cars look like? He pulls up on us in those cars all the time, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. So long story short, I was dealing with a man who literally had no boundaries. He was chilling with this girl and her girlfriend, but sleeping with the girl on the side. He was smoking with these people, but selling them grass. Like, he literally had no boundaries. And I say all this to say that when you have a snake in the grass, you don't realize it's a snake until it bites you. My children's father watched me on social media for years.
In 2 miles, take exit 2L onto I-670 West towards Topeka.
Okay, Siri. My children's father watched me for years on social media until he actually approached me. He waited until he saw that I was going through a divorce until he actually approached me. He already knew of my ex-husband through the streets. He didn't know him because they were from different sets, but he knew of him. He told me he wasn't a gang member. He told me he didn't have any kids. He told me that he doesn't cheat. He told me that he doesn't hit women. Everything I wanted to hear, he told me. And then when he moved in with me, I found out he was a cheater. He was an active gang member. He robbed people. He had another woman pregnant before he moved in with me. And he was extremely abusive. So when you have a snake in the grass, you don't realize it's a snake until it bites you. So that's why you have to guard yourself. You have to use your discernment to the point that nobody will even be able to get close to you until they prove that they can be close to you. Because being around you is a privilege. It's an honor. Nobody is just allowed to be around you. You open that gate, you open that door for people to have access to you. And I kept finding out things about this man, but honestly, I didn't wait long enough to know enough about him. We would meet up and have sex. We would meet up and go to the park and talk and wind up having sex again. It was a whole lot of sex, a whole lot of talking, but I was doing more talking than he was. So he knew my whole life from start to finish, but I knew nothing about him because everything he told me, he tried to make it seem like we were soulmates. So if I would say something, he would say something. I told him I've only had sex with one person in my life. He was the second person I ever slept with.
Use the second lane from the left to take exit 2L onto I-670 West towards Topeka.
Okay, so I told him that he was the second person that I ever slept with. He agreed and told me I was the second person he ever slept with. I think he meant that day. That's what I think he meant now that I think about it. But he was complete polar opposite of me, and he was 10
Continue.
times worse than my ex-husband. My ex-husband actually cared about me.
Stay in the middle lane.
It was a screwed up type of care because he cared about me, but he would still abuse me. But it was
Go past this exit, then use the right lane to take exit 2Q.
Definitely still abusive. So it wasn't better.
Use the right lane to
But
take
it was
exit 2Q
less.
onto Locust Street and Truman Road,
It
then
was-
turn left onto Oak Street.
You're being rude. Why are you talking over me? But anyways, it was way less. My ex-husband did not abuse me nearly as much as my ex-boyfriend did. My ex-husband never pulled a gun out on me. My ex-boyfriend
At the lights,
beat the
turn
crap
left
out of me
onto Oak Street.
while I was pregnant, while I was holding my daughter. He just didn't care. And so I say all of these things to say that now that I have healed, now that I have written a book about my life, now that I understand my value and my worth, it is my duty to share this with you guys. Do you think that I like just getting online and telling people all the dumb crap I did? No. But God gave me this voice for a reason. There are so many women who don't understand that they are the reason they keep going through things.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto East 22nd Street.
They keep blaming everybody else for what they're going through, but they don't understand that their poor judgment, that their poor discernment, that their lack of self-love, that their lack of self-respect is the reason why so many people don't respect them. So many women and men don't understand that. And until we can take accountability for the way that we allow people to treat us, they're going to continue to treat us that way. We might not be beating ourselves or pulling guns out on ourselves, but if we would even allow somebody in our circle that would cuss at us, if we would even allow somebody in our circle that would choke us or that would slap us or that would threaten to choke or slap us, then that shows that we don't respect ourselves. Because if you respect anybody, you wouldn't allow nobody to threaten them. So why are you allowing somebody to threaten you and still sleeping with them? So we literally have to analyze the things that we accept to realize where we are going wrong in our own detriment. That's all I have to say. That's what God gave me, and I'm so sorry that my GPS kept talking throughout this, but I hope y'all got what y'all needed to get from this, because I'm almost to my destination and God really wanted me to get
Go past these lights, then at the next set,
Okay.
turn right.
Oh yeah, and my book, Faith, Family, Freedom, The Rosie Experience, is out for pre-sale order. My book launch party is on April 13th. I will have physical copies then, but if you would like to order it at my discounted price of $50, you can get on my social media accounts, my TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and click the link and order it.